Alright guys, it's me the Tycoon coming back to you in another review, and this is of Ironheart, episodes 4 to 6. Finishing off the series on Disney Plus, so let's get into it. Actually, oh dear God, it's really... We can tell that episodes 4 to 6 was where the reshoots really took place, because they brought in the humour, where the jokes landed, they brought in the action, they tried to create a coherent story leading up to a massive reveal at the end of episode 6. To the point whereby the episodes themselves are staggered in such a weird way. Episode 4, 40 minutes long. Episode 5 is over an hour long. And episode 6 is just over half an hour. So something's gone wrong here. They've had to do things. And again, you see quite a few different elements now being brought in. From tech bros to magic and becoming an alchemist along the way. The hero's journey isn't there in this series. And if anything, you are a little bit more... I hope Riri does get beaten up. But creators what creators do. You see quite a few different characters develop along the way. Ezekiel Stain does get broken out by the Hood. Episodes 4, 5 and 6 shows flashbacks of the Hood. How he became the Hood. Leading up to a massive character reveal. In the very final episode with your expectations being subverted in the final episode. And it's actually quite okay. But it's not enough to save the series. Is it the worst series from Marvel? No, it's not the worst, but it's down there. It's at the bottom. I still think She-Hulk is the worst. I know some people thought Secret Invasion is the worst. I thought, personally, if you've seen my reviews, it was what Marvel needed to bring in a different tone until they went back into the whole, well, let's go back to our default mode and go woke and start criticizing everyone and anyone, left, right and centre. And this series done a little bit of that as well. But let's get into the actual synopsis behind it. So we've got Ezekiel Stain now being taken to jail because of what has happened in episode 3. Hood's on the rampage, recognizes who's actually done John's killing. Actually, John killed himself because he couldn't get out in the end and went all crazy. Riri was just defending herself, just outsmarted everything and got out sooner than, you know, when the doors closed, and killed off John. But the gang itself is just absolutely crazy, and you can see the implosion now taking place within the gang. The big bad fight at the end is 2 minutes long. Something's gone wrong here. Ezekiel gets broken out by the Hood. He gets augmented in terms of the military technology that he's been taking. He now has put into his body, which is interesting. Yeah. They go after Riri to try and kill her off. Riri has that piece of the Hood. Finds out from someone that has never been revealed as just a character that pops out of nowhere, that is magic orientated. Like, where the hell did they come from? To the point whereby dimensional shifts are taking place in a shop in front of the public. Something's not quite right here. You know, something is not right here. But, you know, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to keep up with the tonality, the pacing, the way it's gone. But you know that these were the episodes where the reshoots happened. Because everything changed up. And again, the Hood, now knowing what's going on, puts a hit out on Riri and makes sure that, you know, the gang goes after Riri. And in episode 5, you actually see Riri do a real good job of fighting. I think it's episode 5 or episode 4. But she actually does a real good job. Where was this Riri Williams? Because the way how she fights is, she's outnumbered, she's outmatched, but she uses her brains and the environment around her to create and make sure she outsmarts people who are superior to her in fighting and tech. She does really well. Where was that? Why didn't that happen in the earlier episodes? It happens in the later ones. You know, had that happened in the earlier ones, we could get with the character. Again, going back to the magic, they somehow get magic infused with technology to create a new iron suit, which then kills off the AI, Natalie. And there was some things as well that Natalie got revealed to her brother, and her brother was rightfully angry, saying, "You brought my sister back, but it's not my sister. She's dead." And, you know, that sort of relationship, the balance isn't there. The balance of Riri Williams' character is not there. She's trying to be everything that she can be, but we still don't know why she goes into this sort of I can do it because I can do it attitude. And she gets called out for it by her mum. When she's asked, "Why did you do this?" "Because I can." She doesn't give the reasons why she did do it, which was first responders, to get there faster. She eventually does that when her mum calls her out on her rubbish. And with things going down the way that they are, some good things need to be happening, like getting the hell out of Chicago. And they stay there. Mum wants to stay there. Which is, again, a bit crazy. But along the way, the characters that's been written really well is still the Hood. Because you can relate to the Hood. You can't relate to Riri Williams. What you're seeing is a spoiled brat. And she's not rich enough to be a spoiled brat. If she could have made $80 million from selling off exam techniques and passing exams and all the other stuff, like you saw in episode 1, why would she need a degree from MIT? With the connections that she's got from the Wakandans, she didn't need the scholarship. She doesn't need anything. She's got it all there. So the series got a lot of things where it's like, huh? This is where the issues have been with this entire series. Riri is not having the hero's journey. And this is why people can't quite latch onto the Riri Williams character. Now, I know that there's been a lot of critics out there on both sides of the argument. One side saying, "We got to defend this series till Kingdom comes, no matter what." And then you got those guys who are like, "Ah, it's DEI crap," and all the rest of that kind of thing, and we're going to review bomb it before we've even seen the series. Yeah, both of them are wrong. You have to watch the show and make your own decision. But if you're making your own decision based upon your prejudgments, then let's face it, it's not good. It's not good. You're not going to win no matter what. And Marvel will keep pumping out this kind of quality of show throughout. Even with their movies. They are in danger of really losing their audience. Very much in danger of losing the audience. Because the audience came from the comics. And yes, I get it. Iron Man, narcissist. Doctor Doom, narcissist, so on and so forth. But they all had their journey. Either a journey of redemption, a hero arc journey, sacrifice, whatever you can say, they've had that journey. Benevolence. They've had it, even Reed Richards. And you see the sacrifices that they've had for their intelligence. You didn't see that here. You don't see that. To the very last episode where they finally reveal Mephisto. And far worse is that she actually takes the deal so that she can bring her friend back. Bring her friend back to life. Natalie. Flesh and blood. Spoiler. But the series has failed. It's not the worst series, but it has failed. On that note, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. You know, whichever platform you're watching this on, give me a like, give me a follow. Let me know in the comments as always. And if you guys don't know how to do that, you'll need to go back to school. So says the Tycoon.